Well, 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 look who's back. I'm not dead. Y'all thought I was dead. Y'all thought I was done. I was buried. I was gone. But I'm not. I don't even know how to explain where I've been, but I've just been away. Haven't recorded videos for the Let's Talk Fine channel in a while, and I disappeared. But I'm not dead. That's a good thing. Well, for some of you. Some of you might not have cared, but I'm not dead for those of you who do care. But either way, we back now. And we going to be talking about Jake Paul because Jake Paul just released his opponent. He announced his return that is going to be in December, and he is going to be fighting a man with the name of Andre August, who has a 10-1 record. Now, a lot of people, side to side, some people not happy with it, some people are happy with it. Kind of goes both ways. A lot of people are thinking, well, we don't know who this guy is. He doesn't really have a big name, so why would we pay to watch this? And all this and that. Some people are saying this is good. Jake Paul's actually testing himself. He's only fought one actual pro boxer, which was Tommy Fury, and he lost. Um, and Jake keeps repeating himself. He keeps saying that he wants to be a future world champion. For anybody, obviously, whether you believe he's going to be or not, take that out of it. That is Jake Paul's goal. He says he wants to be a future world champion, which I mean, if that's your goal, fair enough. And he decided that, what, I wanted to test myself. He said, I've beat these MMA guys, I've beat the YouTubers before, I've done all that. Now I want to actually test myself and I want to put myself against a pro boxer. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm actually happy about this fight. And another thing that Jake Paul said, which I'm very happy about, is because a lot of people don't really know who Andre August is. It's not a big fight, Jake Paul versus KSI, big fight, gonna make a lot of money. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, the rematch, big fight, gonna make a lot of money. Jake Paul isn't fighting a big name here. He's fighting a guy with a positive record who doesn't have a major name. And Jake Paul said, I think it is on the zone that if you have a DAZN subscription, you do not have to pay for this fight. This fight is free. And I like that from Jake. Jake acknowledged, he turned around and said, because this guy doesn't have a big name, because it's not a mega fight, because it's not a superstar fight like the likes of the Tommy fight, like the likes of the KSI fight, Tyron Woodley fight, all this and that, the Anderson Silva fight, because it's not like those fights like the Nate Diaz fight, even where it's two big names going at it, and it's like it's not like it's two great boxers going at each other, but it's like the influencer thing where it's name versus name. Who's gonna win? Can Jake Paul take down another MMA guy? Can Jake Paul beat a pro boxer? It's not like that. It's just the case of, oh yes, can Jake Paul beat a pro boxer? That's it. It's not, can Jake Paul beat Tommy Fury with the Fury name, with the loads of experience. So I like the fact Jake Paul hasn't put it as pay per view. I respect that. I like the self awareness of that. So that's a good job. But let's talk about Jake Paul's opponent a little bit. Done a little bit of research. I've watched obviously a few videos of a few other people's opinions on it. And what I've grasped is Andre August, obviously, like I said, Jake Paul's opponent. He's 10-1. He took a 4 year break, I believe, and he only returned this year, if I'm correct, and he's only had one fight this year. I see what Jake has done here, and I like it. A lot of people may not. I actually like what Jake has done here. I like the decision. I like the overall thought process behind it. Jake has decided, right, I've done the big fights. I've done the Tommy Fury fight. I've done the Tyron Woodley 1 and 2 fight. I've done the Anderson Silva fight. I've done the Nate Diaz fight. Now Jake Paul decided, right, he obviously wants a Tommy rematch, maybe February, maybe the next fight after this, but he decided, right, okay, I need to fight someone who's going to give me a test, who's going to give me legitimacy of saying that I am a pro boxer, for people to give me that respect, people to actually acknowledge that I can box. So what Jake Paul did is he found someone that has a positive record, 10-1. It's a good record. Has a positive record, who isn't a major name, but more so because if it's a major name like Tommy Fury, you're not focused on his record, you're focused on his name. And you're going, oh, but he's this, he's that. Because we don't really know who this guy is, at least I don't, and a lot of people I've seen haven't, we're not focused on his name, we're focused on his record alone, which is 10-1, which is smart. Obviously, this guy being 10-1, he's at the start of his career. A lot of boxers at the start of their career is, it's a, I wouldn't like to say padded record, but it's definitely not the most stacked record, because what happens is you get fed journeyman to build up your career. Tommy Fury's done it. Jake Paul's obviously fought MMA guys to get here. You basically fight people who don't have the greatest experience, who aren't the greatest in the world, who's going to give you a bit of a test, but you're also going to you're going to get a positive record. And then once you get that good record, then you start fighting the likes of the better people. You start getting the title shots, you start doing all this and that, but you have to beat people. You have to prove that you can beat people who are just meh in the boxing world to prove why should we give you the better fights if you can't beat these guys. So you beat these guys, you pad up your record a little bit, then it looks like good, instead of you coming in and we're going, yeah, we're going to get you to fight this guy who has 15 fights and you only have 3 fights. You need to get at least like 10 wins under your belt to make it look good. So Jake Paul made a decision. I'm going to get this guy who has a 10-1 record, good positive record, not the most skilled. He obviously is skilled. He's 10-1, but not the most skilled because he hasn't fought the greatest competition. So Jake Paul has a chance, but it's also going to still be competitive. The guy who he's fighting has proven that he's knocked people out. He's 10 wins, and I can't remember how many knockouts. He has a good few knockouts either way, so he's proven he has power. This guy's obviously going to get in there, and what Jake Paul wants from this fight is Jake Paul wants to get in there, outbox this guy, probably knock him out, and then he's able to turn around and say, I beat a pro boxer, because that's what Jake Paul said whenever people were like, who are you going to fight? And he turned around and goes, I'll give you a hint, fight a pro boxer, fight someone like this. Jake Paul wants to beat Andre August so he can turn around and say, this man was 10-1. He has more experience than me. He has a better record than me. He's a pro boxer, and I beat him. So now I want the Tommy Fury rematch. I want to be taken seriously. I'll fight other people. And I think it's very smart by Jake, and I actually like it, because everybody obviously wants the mega fights for Jake, but at the same time, when he does the mega fights, they're not giving him credit for beating these guys. Where now he's saying, right, we're going to push the pay-per-view to the side. He's like, I've proven I can sell pay-per-views. Now, screw the pay-per-view. I just want to show you my skill. He's had a full camp after the Tommy Fury fight. After that loss, he obviously had a full camp with the Nate Diaz fight, but now he wants to have a full camp and go against somebody who's obviously not going to be like a big fight in the terms of, yes, these are two big names. Like I said, it's going to be a fight of Jake Paul's going to get in there, and he's like, right, there's a probability of me losing here because this guy's 10-1. He has a better record, more experience. He has everything in his corner. So once I beat him, what are they going to say? Because obviously you're going to get the critics, you're going to get the haters that are going to turn and go, oh, but we don't know who this guy is. He hasn't fought people. He's fought bums. But Jake Paul also has a good point in saying, you know, this is going to be Jake Paul's, 8th or 9th fight. And the way he views it is, regardless of who that guy's faced, he's beat who's in front of him, aside one person. He has more experience than me. He has everything. So when I beat him, even if you want to turn and go, oh, but he's a low-level boxer, I still beat a low-level pro boxer, even if that's the way you view it. And if you rate Andre August, if Jake Paul beats Andre August, well, then he's earned your respect. You know what I mean? So that's what Jake Paul, that's what his game plan is. He wants to get in there with a pro boxer who has a good, nice record. When he beats him, it's going to look good, but he doesn't have the greatest skill set, so it's even, because we all got to remember, Jake is still green in this sport. He's only been doing it for about 4.5, 5 years. A lot of people obviously hating on Jake. Yes, I know it's easy to hate on Jake Paul. He pisses people off all the time. I personally find it entertaining. A lot of people hate him for it. That's completely fair. But I think you have to also have to understand, you have to respect the hard work he's put in. You know, he's put the hard work in. Yes, you may be like he's fighting MMA guys, but you know, at the same time, even if he was fighting MMA guys, those MMA guys had previous experience. Jake Paul came from YouTube, so that's why I give him the credit. He stepped up, he fought Tommy Fury. Yes, he lost, but you know what? He took punches from Tommy Fury. He went to the bitter end, and you know there was points where he kind of made Tommy Fury struggle a little bit. And I definitely, I don't think Jake Paul wins the rematch with Tommy Fury, at least not yet. I have to see how he performs against Andre August, but I like this stepping stone of him saying, right, I'm going to get in there for a boxer, I'm going to beat it, and then you have to give me some of that credit, you have to give me some of the respect, the legitimacy, because that record speaks for itself. I'm going to make him 10-2, and that is it. But that is my overall thought on that. I actually like the move. I really think the move is a good idea. I like the fact he's pushing the pay-per-view idea to the side, and he's saying, we don't care about the pay-per-views, we care about the legitimacy, the respect here, and we're going to beat a pro boxer. And honestly, I'm cheering for Jake Paul. If Jake Paul gets in here and he outboxes him and beats him, no one can turn around and say you didn't beat a pro boxer, because like I said, even if people turn around and say, oh, Andre August, you know, he had a I don't know who he's fought, but if other people want to turn around and say, oh, he has a stacked record, he's not that good, either way, he's a pro boxer with a pro boxing license. People are expecting Jake Paul to fight people who are like 20-0. That's not the case. Jake Paul is still new to boxing, just like Andre August was, just like Tommy Fury is. None of them are going to fight people who are world class yet, because they haven't reached that level yet. You have to fight people who are at the beginning, just like you are, to earn your respect, to earn those bigger fights, and that is it. Jake Paul's picking that. He's picking someone who is slightly more experienced, who's going to level him up to where he has a shot against Tommy Fury, to where he can fight other pros, and people's going to believe that he has a chance. and they're going to tune in and they might even cheer for him because, like, oh, he's actually been a pro boxer here. He's proved something. He stepped up. He's earned my respect. I want him to win. And that's what Jake wants. It's a business move. It is a smart move for his boxing career because he's not going to get in there and just knock the guy out. He's going to get in there and he's genuinely going to have to do something. And when he does, when he gets in there, if he does something, the respect is earned, the legitimacy is there, and that is it. But yes, I went a little bit of a rant there, but that is literally Jake Paul's decision. I actually really like the decision. I know a lot of people are obviously upset because they're saying, oh, it's not a big name. But as Jake Paul said, you don't have to pay for pay-per-view. It is free with the DAZN subscription, and that is it. I'm very happy for it. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how Jake performs in this new camp. He obviously is Shane Mosley back, so I'm really excited for that. But either way, let me know down in the comments down below, what do you all think? Are you happy with Jake Paul's decision? Do you wish he just rematched Tommy Fury? Do you wish he fought KSI? Do you wish he fought someone else with a bigger name? If Jake Paul beats Andre August, do you give him the respect? Do you rate him, or do you think that that doesn't do anything for Jake Paul's career because you don't rate Andre August, you don't like his record, or anything like that? Let me know all your opinions down in the comments below. But as always, like I always say, hope you all enjoy. Think positive, test negative. That is Jake Paul's decision, and I'm excited for it, and I can't wait for December 15th. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. So, peace.